Nicole. Okay, Nicole, I'm recording this, and it's a blind oracle for Nicole. So let's see what's going on. Ooh. Really? Okay. Okay. We have, I don't know, oracle and a mermaid oracle. We're going into it. I don't know if this is, it's not the earth magic. I want to call it that, and that's totally the wrong name for it. That's a Stephen Farmer oracle. Looks entirely different, but this is where we're going for Nicole's blind oracle. What is this going on? Why does this card want to speak so loudly? Reconciliation is coming through really big and strong here. Big and strong. Somebody that you've been having a tug of war with for a long time. Some thought that you've been having a tug of war for a long time. It feels more personal than just the thought. It does feel much more personal. Don't know what that's about. The blind oracle says the reconciliation time is here. Half of what you need, half of what you need. We're getting something that is saying you've got more than what you need. You're bringing a gun to a knife fight. You're bringing too much to it all the time. Too much to it, too much to it. Trust and career is coming in. What is this about? For some people, I might say that this might be a reconciliation with a coworker, but this doesn't feel like this. This feels like what you're aligned to do, your purpose, what you're aligned to do. The flock in this card is really coming up strong. You can see in this corner here that the flock is here. There's a flock coming in. Why are we getting the flock? There's new reason to fly, new reason to do things differently. We're also getting the bird in the bird in the fishbowl metaphor. Sometimes we feel like we're the bird in the fishbowl. We're like, how did I even land in here? What am I doing in here? And how come these fish don't have a damn clue about what's going on? This is what it's like in your family element sometimes. This does not feel career. It feels like trust what's going on with your flock. You may very well feel like the bird in the fishbowl in your own family grouping, in your own family setting, but it feels like there's more to it than that. Trust that there's reason for that. There's reconciliation going on for that. There's different roles in your family grouping specifically that were played differently, which means this is me telling you that sometimes like we come in as the mother, sometimes we come in as the sister, sometimes we might come in as the cousin or the auntie. We don't always come in the same position in our families. This is what's coming in. You need to trust something, even though you feel bird in the fishbowl, even though you feel, another way to put that is fish out of water. You feel like maybe the stork landed you at the wrong household or something. The family element, that you are in their flock. You are in that flock, whether you realize it or not. You might be there to teach them. You might be the one that clues in before they do about certain things or certain family dynamics. It makes it a little bit challenging for you. It doesn't make it easy, but reconciliation is there. It's not like you're going to go no contact with everybody in your damn family. But some people, you'll just create more space for them to be doing their thing. And perhaps there's been a space with somebody that maybe it was on your shit list or you guys had a falling out, but it feels like the reconciliation time is coming soon. What else do we got on here? This is like the universe telling me we are on the right track. The flying fish, the bird in the fishbowl thing that I've been seeing this whole time. You are the flying fish. You are the one that is navigating both realms. Both realms. And this is the golden mermaid. This is where you have the answers. You have the knowledge. You have what would be considered the key. But this flying fish is coming through really, really strong. I want you to see this. This is like monarch. You are the one that is going to be the one that leads the way on any of the reconciliation, any of the new thoughts, and any of the, I'm sorry to tell you, generational breakthroughs. If you're having generational breakthrough, you might have inherited some family dynamics that you don't really love. You might have inherited some things that are like hard to deal with. Like, well, this is how it's always been done. And you're the one bucking the system and you're the one like catching the ship for a while because you see what's wrong with the system first. You see what needs to be fixed, transformed, transmuted, and acknowledged. All of that. The acknowledgement is what you do first. It takes people a while to catch up with this, to catch up with you. This is part of the path. This is part of the choice. This is part of your work to do. It's part of your tasks. It's on your to-do list when you go to the Earth School in Life. To-do list. Purpose here, task here, task there. It's on your task list. It's on your chore list. The Seashell Princess. If you look at this, you can see all of these starfish in her hair. All of them. And if you've ever heard the story of the starfish where the guy throws it back in the ocean because it matters to the one starfish. He can't save everything, but he throws the one back because he can save it, because that makes a difference. This is how it is. You make a difference in what's going on with your family's patterns. Anything else going on? No, we're back in this deck again. Hang on. Back in the other part of this deck. I'm not sure why we are, but we are. Why are we here? You're going to feel outsider in certain ways in your family. You'll feel outsider, and this is how it's been, how it has to be in order to see. You have to have a little bit of the rebel in you. You have to have a little bit of, I see this is not going well. This is not how it's supposed to go. You have to be the one to call it out and be able to see it that way first. And you have to do that with almost a third person perspective. So the fact that you don't feel like you always fit in, or the fact that you might feel like the stork dropped you at the wrong house, this is part of your family's healing path. It's what you're meant to do. Look at these. This is what it is. One and the same right here. This is a seashell princess. This is the healer, the one that throws the healing back to the ocean, that throws the starfish back to the ocean, throws things back where they need to be. You can be in both elements quite easily. You have the key and you have the ability to do this. This is something you need to do. Trust whatever it is. It doesn't mean you have to be an asshole when you call it out, but if something needs called out because it's true to the bone, and it's like, this is how it is in our family and this needs some correction. We need to grow beyond this if we're going to grow as people. And it feels like grown-ass siblings is what it feels like. Like sometimes when you have holidays and people get together at Thanksgiving or Christmas, everybody goes back to that original dynamic, that original setting, and it's just like hell. This is something that this year I think is shifting, because you are calling it out in a different way, in a gentle way, where people are acknowledged that, yeah, we're not who we were when we were kids, but we're growing up and beyond and through. One more in here. You need to see each other as full people, not just as the role that was played. And when you start doing this and acknowledging that you're trying to do this more, or you're willing to do this more, others will be willing to follow suit on this. This is the mermaid picking lotus blossoms. Look at, there is a little bit of sadness, a little bit of bittersweetness in this card. There's a little bit of recognizing it's tricky. And the lotus blossom comes up from the mud. You know, it takes the nutrients that were there that isn't so easy to deal with and creates something beautiful. There's a way to harmonize this differently. This feels very much more family of origin, not family you're creating. It feels family of origin stuff. The way it was, the way it has been done is not always the way it will be. The pot roast, yeah. The pot roast where, if you've heard this before, you've heard this before. If you don't know it, I'll tell you. The pot roast where the woman goes, every time she gets the pot roast from the store, she chops off both ends and then puts it into the oven to do the roasting, to do the cooking. And finally she gets asked, why do you always cut the ends of the pot roast off? And it turns out the reason she cuts the ends of the pot roast off, she doesn't know. She asked her mom, why do we always cut the ends of the pot roast off? Well, it was because grandma's pan was small. There wasn't any reason to be throwing those parts of the roast out. She just did it because that's the way she learned. That's the way she learned. Because grandma's pan was small, it went down the generation, down the generation, down the generation. Doesn't need to happen. The ends of the pot roast were just fine. That's the lesson. It's that kind of a thing. It's that kind of a pattern and a cycle that's going to be broken. It'll be more significant than that metaphor, but that's what I'm getting. And then the chariot. The focus that comes and then the momentum to move forward. There's a rebalancing. There's an understanding that you can move forward with this. And this is the sea chariot. This is the time that you go forward in a more balanced way, where the attributes of being in both worlds are finally understood, so there can be momentum and growth. That's complete. That's what I've got. That's gorgeous. That's really gorgeous. I don't know what this is about. And I don't know where the disgruntledness is. And resentment isn't a word that I like to use, but there may be a little bit of a touch of that has not been spoken yet. So that's what's going on with that. It needs to be looked at in a way and from a space of love. Darcy, we're on the paid list reading right now, honey. Let me show you what we're doing. If you're just new in the room, that was what you just saw was a blind read, and that's usually $20. And I just go to any of my oracles, sometimes tarot and oracles combined. But if you want to ask a question, these are the paid reads. If you want to get a mini for that, you can. It's $30, and that's 7 to 10 cards, and we can just see what's going on with you and Ethan if you want to do that. If you want me to get super nosy, happy to get super nosy, and that's when I would do a full reading for the $40. Or you can just do your personal year ahead and see what's going on with that. So that's what's up. Nicole, you know what that's about? Yeah, I figured you would. I figured you would.